What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Mike on the Mic, Boston Sports Talk with your host, Mike Molyneux. I want to give a shout out and congratulations to the Patriots yesterday, because after they defeated the Miami Dolphins, they crowned the AFC East champions once again, and another piece of history added to the greatest quarterback in all time, Tom Brady's legacy, with him being the first quarterback ever to win 10 division titles. And me all along, I've said I feel Tom Brady is the best quarterback of all time, better than Joe Montana, Elway, Joe Namath, all those guys. I think Tom Brady has done enough in his career up to even this point, even though he has many more years to go still. I feel he's done enough in his career up to this point. He'll probably be named in many people's book the greatest quarterback of all time. But to go off of the Patriots season so far, I mean, in some games they've looked pretty shaky. The offense, in most games, not every game, have been firing on all cylinders and clicking on all cylinders. And then you've also had other games early in the season where the defenses looked absolutely horrendous, specifically the defensive backs and the safeties. But for the most part, as you can see with their record, the Patriots have held their own. They've beaten who they need to beat. They lost a couple close games, with a couple missed opportunities late in games, or missed field goals, which I'll get into with Dan Kiskowski. But for the most part, the Patriots have done well this season, well enough to win their division once again. But the real test comes up in the Patriots' next 2 weeks, week 14 and 15 in the NFL season, where they'll first be going up against the Houston Texans, and after that they'll have to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Now, both these matchups definitely have playoff potential. One, you have potential of being the AFC Championship game, and another, you have the potential of possibly even seeing that team in the Super Bowl. You don't know if that's going to be the outcome, but you see these two teams that the Patriots will be going up against. They both have great records. Texans are 11-1, I think, and the 49ers are 8-3, with that one tie. Both of these teams are at the top of the division. I think both teams bring an aspect to the game much greater than any team the Patriots have faced so far this season. First, with the Texans, their offense is definitely one of the high-ranked offenses throughout the NFL. You got Matt Schaub, who plays ridiculously. I think he had 5 touchdowns recently in a game and 500 and something yards passing in a game. He has a great wide receiver core out there, led by Andre Johnson. But they have a running back who is probably one of the best running backs in the league, and the Patriots have yet to face a running back like this guy yet this season in Adrian Foster. Patriots, with their defense, the guys up front, they're kind of known to be able to stop the run, and not letting guys get off for too many yards and break away up the field. But I think with Adrian Foster, he brings a component to the game where he can be very elusive and hard for guys to really get a hand on, and he can definitely at any moment when he gets the handoff, break free and get 20 plus yards down the field, or even go all the way to the end zone. So excuse me, with that offense, with the Texans have, I think the Patriots defense will really be put to the test, especially when it comes to the run game. Because downfield, Matt Schaub can easily go to Andre Johnson or any of the other wide receivers down the field, and it'll really put the Patriots cornerbacks to the test. I mean, in the last couple of games, they've looked a little better. I'm not going to say they're perfect, and they're really shutting down other teams from getting downfield. But, I mean, they've really stepped up their play, I would say, the last couple of games. Trading for Talib, he's been decent back there. McCoy stepped up his play. You got that young guy, Denard, Arrington still back there. They're playing decently. Would I say they're amazing now, coming off what they how they've been performing throughout the season, I wouldn't say that necessarily, but they've really stepped up. And next week against the Texans, next Monday night will be a huge test for them, and we'll see how they handle that offense. Now, jumping forward, I don't want to jump to conclusions. I feel like the Patriots can hold their own with the Texans, but it'll be a tough matchup. And, we'll definitely see what happens. I know everybody will be watching. I know I'll be watching. Then you jump to the 49ers, who with them, they bring a component to the game where their defense is one of the top-ranked defenses in the NFL. And you've seen the Patriots pretty much, for the most part, dismantle every defense they face so far this season. The Patriots once again are averaging 30 plus a game. I don't know what happened last night against the Dolphins, but the Patriots are good for putting up 30 plus points a game. Maybe last night and maybe weeks coming up, we'll probably see them less scoring because they've lost a big piece of their offense in Gronkowski, but Brady's there, Welker's there, Brandon Lloyd, who didn't do much yesterday, but he's still a great aspect to the team. Hernandez is back. Ridley's still doing his thing coming out the back. The offense is still one to be reckoned with. But going up against the 49ers will really put the Patriots offense to the test. And not even definitely with their cornerbacks, they'll probably hold their own with our wide receivers and tight ends. But I'm more worried about the guys up front. 49ers have Bowman, which is one of the top linebackers in the league. And those guys up front, the defensive linemen, the linebackers, can really put pressure on Tom Brady. And for the most part, the Patriots' offensive line has held up and really kept Brady protected. Yesterday against the Dolphins, I've seen Brady sacked the most times I've seen in a while in recent seasons. But for the most part, in games prior to that, the offensive line has really held their own in keeping Brady protected and allowing him time to find guys down the field. But going up against the 49ers, we'll see how good the offensive line is because, they've had guys shuffling in and out due to injury and other things. But for the most part, they've held their own. But, next week could be the week that we really see get stopped. Or that game could be the game where Tom Brady gets sacked for another 6, 7, 8 times. Who knows what's going to happen. We all just know that the 49ers have great defense. And it's pretty much going to be a high-powered offense going up against a high-powered defense. And nobody knows the outcome to the game. It could be a defensive struggle. 49ers are shaky with their quarterback situation right now and whether to keep the current guy they have or go back to Alex Smith. But who knows what's going to happen. All I can tell you is the next 2 weeks of Patriots football are going to be real interesting ones because both have potential playoff field. They both have playoff feels to it. Patriots Texans could be the AFC Championship game. Who knows? Possibly Patriots 49ers could be the Super Bowl. Who knows? All we do know is that the Patriots will really be put to the test in the next 2 weeks coming up. And hopefully, me being a huge Patriots fan, I'm hoping they can prevail, and I'm hoping they can show the world, the rest of the NFL, that they actually a team to be reckoned with, still going in, despite their struggles and not having Gronkowski. They're still a team to be reckoned with. And, I feel that if we are able to get these 2 wins next week, people will probably push us right up to the top of Super Bowl favorites. Me personally, I definitely think it makes the Patriots Super Bowl favorites if you knock off the Texans, who are probably the best team in the league, and then the 49ers, who are still one of the top teams in the league, and their defense is also known as one of the top. But who knows what's going to happen. I just know I will be watching, and so will you guys, most definitely. But thanks for tuning in to another episode of Mike on the Mic. Hope you guys continue to watch.